Okay, so getting started with our craft along, we have the Sleigh Ride holiday cards, and this kit has two interactive cards with more embellishments on it and kind of layered up and some chalking techniques, and the rest of them are super simple, quick and easy cards, and we're going to show you a diagram that is easy to use on any paper so that you can use it for any types of cards. So getting started, we are going to do the poinsettia card first. And before we get, so actually I wanted to suggest here some powder puff chalking inks that you can use to chalk this up. Don't have to chalk it up, but it just gives a little extra dimension and some extra color to it if you would like. The powder puff inks we suggest are peppermint stick, sky blue, and amaretto. There's lots of colors that could go with this. So you could use fields of green. You could use weeping willow for some greens to add in there. You can use Baja blue, aqua, lots of different colors. And then the amaretto we actually use to kind of give an antique look to it. So it kind of just depends on the look that you like. So grab whatever colors from your stash of powder puff chalking inks. And if you've never used powder puff chalking inks, I will show you here in a minute how to use them. So if you decide you want to purchase some, you know how to use them. And if you do use our powder puff chalking inks, I know there's a lot of you out there that have every color possible. Let us know in the comments, what is your favorite powder puff chalking ink color? I have a few. I love amaretto for almost any sort of antique anything. The newest is probably pumpkin pie, which is an orangey kind of rust color. I want to mention before we go too far, these we are going to use for stencils. So once you punch those snowflakes out, you want to use the negative for stencils. So, and if you've taken our classes before, you know that quick quotes, we try to use every piece of the sheet. So we always say don't throw anything away until you're completely done. So sometimes we use the scraps or the negatives, but these two we are actually going to use as stencils. And I will show you right now actually what we are going to use them on. This is for the second card we'll be making, but this particular die cut sheet, all of these pieces, these long pieces and all these small pieces, they are going to go onto your card. So I'm actually leaving this in the die cut. If you've already punched them out, that's totally okay. You can do it any way you want to do it. I'm leaving them in, and then I'm going to stamp on them before I actually punch them out. But you don't have to do it that way. If you already have it punched out, no big deal. We'll use it later. I just wanted to let you know, hang on to these. Don't throw them away because they are stencils for later. Okay, so to get started on the poinsettia card, you have a sheet that looks like this. And there's two, it looks like, they look like two like big T's. We need to cut or punch those out, have those ready. And then one rectangle centerpiece. To make the base of your card, we have these two pieces that were together in a die cut like this. You pull them apart and we are going to start folding on all of the score lines. So what you want to do for both of these is fold on the score lines, and I kind of just go back and forth on each one so that they bend either way. I first of all do the way that it's easiest. You can see it kind of creases nice and easy there. So one will go this way and the other one will go on the opposite side. This is going to get glued to here, but we'll get the folds correct first. So these small ones, those need to be, so we call these peaks and valleys. So this is going to be a peak. these are going to be valleys. So these need to fold back, these smaller pieces here. It takes a minute to kind of get this going. Get them folded back and forth here. So once you get it folded, it should look like this. The T should be on the outside. So the smaller pieces at top and bottom, those should be valleys. So they should go in like a V. And this bigger piece goes up, an upside down V, like a tent. And then it folds together like this. So when you're done, you should have two that look like this. And this is a little tricky to fit into the short amount of time that we have, so you can always come back and watch the video later. I just want to kind of go at a medium pace here so that we can get it done, but also so that you can follow along if you're trying to follow along. So the tops should look like a tent. The smaller parts should look like a V. Okay, so we are going to put some glue just around the edges. I use this Barely Art glue, and it is my new fave. I love this glue. We have it on our website. It comes with 3 different tips. It dries quickly and permanent. It's not stringy. This precision tip is wonderful for smaller embellishments and stuff like that. I just love this new glue. I use it for everything. I think it's like, I'm not sure, $9.99 on our website, but then we have refills also. But it's amazing. You use very little, just little dots everywhere, so that your one bottle will last you a long time. Okay, once we get that on, we're going to just start layering the pieces onto here. Let me grab my instructions so I can show you which piece I'm talking about here. So you can see here, I kind of just am going by the guide that is on here. You can see where the pieces go, and each piece has a little bit of the white showing around it. Chalk things up as you like. This one is so busy, I'm not going to chalk that up. I'm just going to put a few dots of glue and glue this down. And it just gets centered right in the middle there. So this is where some of the, so we use the white side for the aqua card that we're going to do with the dots, and we are going to use some of the dotted side for this one. So you can go ahead, well actually, you know what? I'm going to put the end pieces on here first. And it looks like there's one for each side. Chalk up the edges if you'd like. I'm going to put a few dots around here. And put on our big T. It goes right in the middle with just a little bit of white showing around the edge. Same for this other side. And if you decide that you don't want it quite as busy, you can always use the other side too. There's a green dot on the other side that's really pretty as well. I like the busyness of this Christmas paper. This new paper line just got put on our website, and it's called Sleigh Ride. So it's a gorgeous Christmas paper. Okay, so I'm going to punch out some of these smaller dot triangles, and they each go, I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use Weeping Willow and do some green around the edges just to add some color. But this new Sleigh Ride paper, we have very limited in stock because we used it for our Club Q layouts, and we used it for our December online event, which we would love to have you guys join us. And we showed some previews of those things earlier. And I'm probably not going to, just time-wise, not going to chalk everything up. But I'll kind of show you how this goes together. But this new sleigh ride paper, I think it just got put on our website 2 days ago. So a lot of times these new like special papers, they sell out fairly quickly, especially when we're using them for different events. So don't forget to put in the comments what your favorite Powder Puff chalking ink color is. Another one of mine is Bloody Mary, which would look really beautiful with this kit too. It's kind of this color. It's a reddish brown. Love that one. Okay, now 2 longer rectangles I'm going to punch out here that go here. This glue is great too because it gives you just a little bit of time to move things, but then it stays permanent. So this card, once you give it to somebody, it really feels like you've put a ton of work into it and there's a lot that goes with it, but it also is very simple to put together. Our last 2 pieces here, I'm going to chalk this up. And we have 2 smaller pieces if you want to use behind there, or you can make it white and just put these behind there. This is how I'm going to chalk up the edges here. What I love about the chalking inks is you can kind of make it look messy. And it still has the soft kind of chalky look to it. Oops, got some on the outside. This glue dries clear too, which is nice. But you don't have to be super particular with where you put the ink. Unless you're using a really dark color and it's a really juicy ink, then sometimes it gets a little dark, but the chalking inks give it a nice soft chalky look. I'm going to do a little bit around this. Ooh, that green looks really pretty on there. If you don't like the green, the Bloody Mary or maybe the Barn Board Powder Puff ink would work for you. It's kind of reddish brown. And if you choose to leave any of this stuff off, that's totally up to you. You can put different things in here. You can put different notes. The last piece we have is where you can actually do your journaling, or you're right in the middle of your card. We've already pre-chalked this one up for you, so you don't even have to add anything to it. And then you have the base of your card. So once it folds up, it will look like this. And we have a poinsettia for the front and a poinsettia once they open it here, and then your journaling piece. So the poinsettias I actually punched out earlier, and you just layer those up. One thing that I like to do, you can always chalk these up too if you want to add a little bit to it. The peppermint stick on this just makes it look brighter, so if you want to use that, you can. One thing I like to do with all my flowers is just, and this doesn't have to be perfect, it can be kind of messy, I just like to fold them up like this. It gives a little extra dimension as you layer them. So there's 3 sizes here, and I'm going to fold each one. I do this with all the flowers that even the springtime flowers, and it just gives an extra little lift to your project. You fold each petal. So I know we mentioned earlier, but we actually just in the last day, so this last week we've been putting stuff into the sale category for you, but just in this last day we've probably added another 5 or 6 things. So check that out. And we also added to the deals for the day. So if you didn't see the beginning of this, so right now we had actually said $60, you get a free page kit. That's what it says in the promotions, but it's actually $50. So you only have to spend $50 and we will throw in a summer page kit for you. And if you get to $75, you get free shipping, which is something we don't normally do. Because shipping costs are so expensive lately, but we decided for this weekend we are going to give you free shipping if you hit $75. Okay, so once you have that on there, then we will glue it to your card. You just want that centered. And I'm going to show you here how to do the button and make it the color you want it. So I'm going to do mine green, but in the photo, I think we actually have, let's see. Yeah, I think we actually did do a green in the photo. Use whatever color works for you, but I just sit my button on there and just barely rub it back and forth. You don't want to press because then it'll get in the middle of your button. And then it turns just that ring, a beautiful green color. We're going to glue that right on there. Or you can glue this down first if you would like, and then do the color, but I like to just slightly rub it on there before I do it, before I glue it on. And then you are set. Glue this one right over here in the center. And what a quick, beautiful card made in just a few minutes. So we are going to move on to the next card, but you can see how this kind of goes together. So the next card goes together the same way, we just use different papers. The part that I'm going to show you, since we don't have a ton of time, is how to make the, move this out of the way. So you can see there are 2 pieces like this that make the card, you know, that folds up, and you can do the same exact way you did on the other one to glue it together. The part that I want to show you is these little pieces that go onto your card. They actually have stamped, I'm going to punch these out, but with these little negative pieces from our laser. Oops, not this one. We are going to use that for a stencil. And we have daubers and stencils. These ones are a little bit hard to get out. We have daubers and stencils on our website right now, and we have a ton of Christmas ones. So if you, oh, I broke that, but no big deal because you can glue it on right where it was. Lots and lots of stencils on our website that are Christmassy right now, which is kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these out, and I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper. And actually, I'm just going to use my instruction sheet right here. So this little piece, I'm going to lay this stencil right over top of it. And I'm going to use my ink pad, which you can use your ink pad, or if you have daubers, you can daub it right in here and use a dauber. But if you just have an ink pad, that works too. This one is actually called Jade, I think. Oh, this one is almost out of ink. I've used these over and over and over. Oh, I'm going to use Deep Sea. This is a really pretty dark blue. So you just pat this on here. And this is what is going to give the snowflake look on each one of these little squares. And if you have a dauber, that makes it a little bit easier for these small things, but it's still totally doable if you just have your ink. And if you love doing this stencil stuff, check it out, because we do have a sale on, or we have daubers and lots of stencils on our website right now for like a crazy good price. I think there's packs of like 20 for $7.99 or something like that. But you can see it just leaves a nice soft chalky snowflake look. And then the same goes for your larger pieces here. So this is the piece that is going to go, oops, down the sides of your other card here. So you can either line this one up and do 3, so just like in the picture, and do 3 this way, or you can use the smaller one throughout here too and do kind of all over pattern. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to take my chalk ink, pat it on there, and it just gives kind of a soft snowflake. And it does not have to be solid. You just kind of have to get the shape of the snowflake on there. And we also have these little tails here too on the end of the Powder Puff Chalking ink, so you can get a little more into the edges. And then when you peel that up, you have a nice soft chalky snowflake. So that other card, it goes together exactly the same as the first one that we did. And then that one we actually added a stretchy little cute holder to go around the front. If you want to change up the color of some of the stuff that's on there, like if you want to make this more green or aqua, or if you want to use more navy blue with it, you can also chalk up the chipboard before you even take it out of the die cut. I'm going to do the Mary in a little more green here. I think I need to replenish my inks. They're starting to run out. Although I do really like the look of it when it starts running out, because it makes it even chalkier. So you can see that gives it just a really pretty color, all over color. Anyway, those are some tricks you can do with your chalking inks. That is a simple and easy way to add some extra color to your cards. And the last thing I'm going to do is show you this diagram so that you can take any piece of paper and make it into Christmas cards, birthday cards, whatever you would like to use it for. The rest of the paper that's in your kit is for extra cards. Okay, so here is the diagram, and you can use this for any kind of cards. What you want to do is off the top, you trim 4 inches. So off the top, you turn it so that you trim 4 inches off the top. You take that and you turn it and trim at 6. And then these make little note cards. You just fold each of these into small cards. You can use either side, inside, outside, small cards. And we've also added, there's some leftover sayings that you can put on there. And then the next one you do, so it's 8 across. and then you cut at 5 and 5. And you fold this way. Decorate the front. So you cut this one at 5, and you can do either way. If you want more of this showing, you can. Do like this. So that is a simple diagram that you can use to make 2 gift cards, or 2 smaller cards, 2 larger cards. And you can use that with any paper. So go ahead and use the rest of your stuff to make extra cards. I hope you enjoyed the little craft along and the cards that you did make. Make sure and check out our website. Leave us a comment where we are going to pick some prize winners from the comments. Thanks for joining us. Check out shopquickquotes.com. In our sale category, you spend $50, you get a free summer kit. Spend $75, you actually get free shipping as well. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.